49ers 31, Rams 14. 49ers heading into this bye week at 4-4, within striking distance of the Seahawks, and most importantly, with their brand of complementary football on full display. I call it a tidal wave. When the 49ers perform the way that they did in the second half today, offense, defense, special teams, all firing in unison, feels like a tidal wave. And I brought that up to Trent Williams, and he just started vigorously nodding his head. He said that, that's what we're trying to do. 49ers have talent, even when they're shorthanded. And they try to deliver the tidal wave that flooded the Rams today. Jimmy Garoppolo actually, with the team leaders, organized a meeting this week where they stressed the importance of complementary football to sink the opposition. And it worked. It worked really well for the 49ers. They sunk the Rams behind that tidal wave here. So this is going to be my walk out of SoFi Stadium. As you can see, I'm standing in the press box right now. Let's see if I can make it out of here. It could be a big-time maze. 31-14 49ers, though, and we will begin the walk. Let's do it. So this is what if you guys want to see what the press box at SoFi looks like, you can see it behind me. See, they're cleaning up a little bit, but we're behind these glass windows. So unfortunately, you can't really get the full crowd noise, but I'll tell you what, it shook when Christian McCaffrey threw the touchdown pass today. It shook when Jimmy Garoppolo threw that laser beam. Both laser beams, actually. One to Christian McCaffrey for a touchdown, one to George Kittle for a touchdown. Jimmy really liked that back corner of the end zone for scores today. So let's make our walk out of here. We're going to have to find the elevator. Go down one level. You go from 7 to 6. I'm the last one in that press box besides the cleaning crew today. So hopefully I don't lose you in the elevator. If I do, just give me a second. I got 6 right there. Oh, that's great. It's not working. Maybe we go down to 5. They'll let us go down to 5. 6 is they give you instructions here at SoFi how to get out of the stadium. And it says go down to level 6, but 6 didn't work, so we're doing 5 right now. Of course, this one won't work either. Maybe we're gonna have to go down one more. Maybe we have escalators here. Yeah, we do. We have some escalators. Told you guys, this place is a maze. This place is a total maze. So we have to get to 6. We gotta go up 1. And good, the escalators are still running. That's a big win for me. So I believe if we go up to this one, then we'll be at the main concourse. Cross your fingers. Anyway, 49ers, let's talk here while we're on the escalator. 49ers today, in the first half, they're a little sloppy, right? But they didn't panic. And then they came out in the second half, and Garoppolo was 10 of 12, over 11 yards an attempt. A couple procedural communication issues in the first half. I mean, there was one where Spencer Burford didn't have the snap count down right, and Aaron Donald just blew by him, looked like a glitch, and Madden, that obviously wasn't a good play for the 49ers. In the second half, they cleaned those things up, and they were ready to go. The Rams were running an overload front in the second half. Oh, this is glorious. By the way, check this out. Now we're out in the open. Maybe I could do part of the show from here, out in the open. That's what SoFi Stadium looks empty. This is not bad. I'm gonna talk a little bit from here. And then I think I know my way out past here too, so I think that's gonna work. Anyway, the 49ers in this game, the Rams are running overload fronts in the second half. They were daring the 49ers to pass the football. So the 49ers had to pass to set up the run in this game, and in the second half especially, and Jimmy just came out. That one drive was 11 plays, 88 yards, 7 of 7 for Jimmy Garoppolo, just throwing laser beams all over the field. One of the big things was that Christian McCaffrey was the outlet man. Like, we talked about this all week, right? We said the 49ers need to set up a good outlet against pressure to Christian McCaffrey because he's so good. And it just makes me think, man, he's scheduled to make $12 million next year. If he keeps on delivering this type of football, CMC, is 12 going to be enough? Or is he going to be demanding more money? Because he's going to deserve it in that situation. But Jimmy Garoppolo had Christian McCaffrey as an outlet in this game, and that was huge. Time and time again, he roasted the Rams, and that's how they were able to beat the pressure even without Deebo Samuel. But that 11-play, 88-yard drive was spectacular from the 49ers because, again, there were no hiccups from the quarterback. Jimmy had been harassed in the first half, especially when the pass protection broke down, but the pass pro generally held up. And then he gave the 49ers the lead with a sensational play on which Christian McCaffrey was the fifth read. Jimmy slid from left to right. I believe it was Leonard Floyd who ultimately pressured him, but the pass protection held up really well. It was 3rd and 2. And when Leonard Floyd finally closed in on Jimmy Garoppolo after several seconds, Jimmy had kind of stepped up in the pocket, and then Christian McCaffrey had seen space and ran to it. He saw that space in the back corner of the end zone, and Garoppolo threw what? I mean, Garoppolo's done a lot of good passes over his time with the 49ers. That might have been, I can't say the best one, but it was one of the best ones. I mean, just the fact he was moving, escaping pressure. McCaffrey was his 5th read, and he nailed him. He nailed him in the back corner of the end zone there, and that gave the 49ers the lead. And what it did is it unlocked the tidal wave that I talked about, right? The tidal wave of complementary football. Your defense is going to feed off of your offense, and that's going to feed the offense even more. Special teams just doesn't screw it up. That's what you call a team win. That is the 49ers formula. If you go to my article on The Athletic right now, that's what Trent Williams was talking about. I go up to Trent in the locker room. First thing I talk about is the offense in the second half, and first thing he talks about is that was complementary football. That was our formula. We saw the 49ers smother the Packers in that NFC Championship game a couple years ago with complementary football. Offense, defense, special teams. They didn't do it for the first half of the season, the first 8 games. They did it in this game in the second half. This game was like a microcosm of the 49ers season so far, right? First half was shaky on both sides of the ball, defense especially, but offense was shaky too. Second half was not shaky at all. It all came together, and that's how the 49ers can play as greater than the sum of their parts. Those of you just joining in, I'm on my walk out of the stadium. Maybe we can continue the walk right now. I have a box score in my hand, and why don't we sit down, go through some of this box score here. I'll talk for a bit, rest my arm, hold the camera out. 49ers today, Garoppolo 21 of 25. 235 yards for Jimmy Garoppolo, 2 touchdowns, 132.5 rating. Jimmy Garoppolo's completion percentage today was 84.5%. That is the 5th highest all time of any 49ers quarterback with 20 or more passes in a game. He had 25 passes. Top 2 on the list belong to Steve Young. John Brody's on there, and I believe that Joe Montana's on there. And then you have number 5, Jimmy Garoppolo, 84.5%. So that was awesome. He spreads the football around to a lot of different receivers. McCaffrey, 8 catches, 55 yards for the 49ers. Ayuk, 6 for 81. That's a 3-game hot streak now for Brandon Ayuk getting involved in the offense. Kittle, 3 for 39, including that touchdown where Garoppolo found him in the corner. Wilson, 2 for 21. How about Ross Dwelly? Runs the go ball, 1 for 56. Ross Dwelly emulated Kyle Juszczyk today, and he did a really, really good job, not just on the go ball, but 23 rushes, 111 yards for the 49ers. Meant that the fullback was doing some work blocking there. McLeod catching a nice fumble recovery, right? Remember Christian McCaffrey fumbled? McLeod's catch, by the way, that was a tough catch against big-time coverage. Took the hit from Taylor Rapp, and it was a personal foul, but McLeod hung on to the football. That was key in that 49ers scoring drive. But McLeod recovering that Christian McCaffrey fumble, low-key, one of the pivotal plays in this game. And Tyler Kroft had a catch for 6 yards. So everybody contributed for the 49ers in that pass game, and that's how you make up for not having Deebo Samuel. All right, here we're going to continue walking. Got to pick up the backpack, and we'll go. I'm going to left-hand this thing now. I got to put this box score in my pocket. This is not easy, so those of you joining, like and subscribe. This is the stuff I do for you guys. Walking out of the stadium. I know everybody wants to know how I get out of SoFi Stadium, so I'm going to show you guys the way as we move forward here. So that is the 49ers formula. That is how this team can be a Super Bowl contender. Now, I mean, the Chiefs played complementary football against the 49ers last week and went on a massive tidal wave of a scoring run. 49ers took that very same thing and did it to the Rams. They applied it to the Rams today. I mean, we are 9 months to the day. It was January 30th, 2022, where the Rams won the NFC Championship game on this field. 9 months to the day later, the 49ers come in here and do what they couldn't do 9 months ago, and that is overwhelm the Rams in the second half with a full performance, offense, defense, and special teams. I cannot emphasize how important it is to say that this was a team effort, and it was the first time this season that the 49ers showcased a team effort in the second half, right? Even the wins before, they had kind of fallen off a little bit offensively. Against Carolina, they fell off a little bit defensively in the second half. This game, the 49ers were on fire in all phases of the game to close it in the second half. And guess what? Champions finish. If this team is going to accomplish its goals and be a champion, they've got to finish the way that they did in this game, and that made it a team win. All right, so now we've reached the end zones here at SoFi, as you can see there. I'm going to flip around the camera and give you guys a nice view as we walk out of this place. This place was rocking. I would say 70% 49ers fans. Somebody just said Christian McCaffrey is the best back the 49ers have had since Frank Gore. I would say that's true, but obviously McCaffrey's a different kind of back just because of how good of a receiver he is. I know Frank Gore was good at that too, but I mean, Christian McCaffrey, I don't think you want to have him spend any time really pass protecting. You want him, instead of pass protecting, you want him in the face of these blitzes catching passes. He's a great blitz outlet. The 49ers just did so much from the list of stuff that they had to do well, that we had prescribed for them to do well, right, over the course of the week. They built better outlets into their blitz pickups, and Christian McCaffrey was a massive part of that. They made changes defensively. How about we talk about that for a second? Here, you could see SoFi behind me. 49ers gave up only 2.3 yards per play in the second half. Their defense was borderline trash in the first half, and it had been trash against Kansas City. And I gave it a lot of criticism. If you go on Twitter, on social media, I said, DeMeco Ryans getting out-schemed by Sean McVay. They can't defend the screen pass. The Rams are obviously playing a big-time screen and play-action game. They're neutralizing the 49ers pass rush. And even, the 49ers stopped the run, but early in the second half, the Rams started getting leaky run yardage right on that first drive that they had in the second half after the 49ers punt it coming out of halftime. And it wasn't looking good for the 49ers. It was not looking good at all. But what you saw was the 49ers adjust on this field down here. The 49ers adjusted defensively. They took out the screen game that the Rams were trying to throw at them. So the 49ers were patient defensively. Their linebackers, even guys like Warren Burks, a reserve linebacker, stepped up, made sure, and Fred Warner stepped the hell up today. Fred Warner had an amazing game. And one guy who really stepped up for the 49ers, who's not a coach, but he's a former player, and not too long ago, DeMeco Ryans. He started calling blitzes that hit. The Rams went 5 of 6 on third down in the first half. They only went 3 of 7 in the second half. Key play, Christian McCaffrey scores the receiving touchdown from Jimmy Garoppolo to give the 49ers a lead. 49ers come back out. First 2 downs, Rams don't really go anywhere. It's third and long. Rams have been converting third and long, all kinds of third downs all afternoon. What happens on this third down when the 49ers are already ahead? DeMeco dials up a Fred Warner blitz that works and sacks Matthew Stafford, and it's all downhill from that point for the Rams. So credit to DeMeco Ryans, because his blitzes weren't hitting in the first half. Sean McVay was 1 to 2 steps ahead of him for the entire first half. The screen passes were raining galore for the Rams. But in the second half, DeMeco Ryans started hitting with some of these play calls and some of his blitzes. He made those adjustments that you expect a good defensive coordinator to make. Now, lo and behold, what helped DeMeco Ryans make those adjustments? Well, the 49ers offense helped him make those adjustments. That is the beauty of complementary football. Your best defense is sometimes a good offense, and that was the case for the 49ers today. It's a team sport. You feed off of each other if you're different phases of the game. And that 49ers defense fed off of the 11-play, 88-yard drive that the 49ers delivered with Christian McCaffrey scoring that final touchdown. Yep, DeMeco Ryans stopped the nosebleed at halftime. It's a team sport, and the 49ers delivered as a team today to make this happen. Anyway, we're going to continue the walk out of SoFi Stadium. Right now, I'm right above the south end zone. Probably going to say bye to some staff here. They're probably, what the hell are you doing on this YouTube Live? But this is what you get here. You get the behind the scenes. And we'll continue walking. Go ahead and put some questions in as I walk out of this stadium. You know where I'm going to walk right now is In-N-Out Burger. It's like 15 minutes away. I'm not going to get my Uber until In-N-Out. So, maybe I don't stay live all too long while I'm on the streets outside of the stadium for safety reasons. But Jimmy G was throwing some dimes for the 49ers today. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to go out here. We're going to say bye to everybody. So let me walk out of the gate. Yeah, the SoFi here. One thing, SoFi Stadium. You guys see that? Capital S, capital F. SoFi is a San Francisco-based company, and the S and the F are capitalized. The Rams play at SoFi Stadium, but it's essentially a 49ers home venue. Rams have to go to silent count here. 49ers rode the home field advantage today to a big comeback victory. Something's going on. Capital S, capital F. You guys can discuss. All right, this is how you get out of this place. You walk through here. I think this is the way out. It'll be good. Is this the way out? Hell yeah. Around here?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Oh, I made it. Breaking news, I made it out of SoFi Stadium. This is not easy to make it out of this place. It's a complete palace, but made it out, and now we commence the walk to In-N-Out Burger. Look at this. This place is crazy. You got these big pillars outside. You guys remember Gladiator? That scene where Juba, his name is Juba, Maximus's friend in Gladiator, sees the Colosseum for the first time. I didn't know men could build such things. It's kind of how you feel when you stand outside of SoFi Stadium. Now there's an In-N-Out Burger about 10 minutes away, so let's go. I'll stay with you guys as long as it's safe. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I mean, this place is nicer than Levi's Stadium. There's no question about it. It also costs 5 times as much as Levi's. Levi's cost $1.2 billion. SoFi cost over $5 billion to build. So this place, I mean, it is a palace. We could see this part of it. And it's a palace in which the 49ers have seen a lot of success. Unfortunately for them, they couldn't win the NFC Championship game, but they have now beaten the Rams in 8 straight regular season games. I mean, that has me thinking, and that has me pointing out right now, there is nothing better for the 49ers when they're struggling than a game against the Rams. The Rams are the get-right team. The 49ers have the opinion that the Rams are, they got some front runner to them. They think that if they could punch the Rams in the mouth, the Rams don't punch back really well. In the NFC title game, the 49ers were not able to land that punch against the Rams, right? I mean, even though they were ahead late, the punch would have been Jaquiski Tartt intercepting that pass. The punch would have been one more big first down that they couldn't get late in that game. They didn't land the punch. Today they landed the punch, and the Rams, just like they did in week 4, really crumpled, right? Here's my big hypothetical. Everybody talking about Matthew Stafford and Jimmy Garoppolo. If Matthew Stafford had played behind the pass protection breakdowns that Jimmy Garoppolo had to face in the first half, this game would have been over a lot sooner. Garoppolo, I think, is better than Matthew Stafford, especially under pressure. Stafford under pressure turns into a turnover, interception, and completion machine. The amount of pressure that Jimmy Garoppolo has had to deal with in his time with the 49ers, because they have kind of moneyballed the offensive line, is really remarkable. And the fact he's overcome it to still deliver the efficiency that he has, that's something more people need to talk about. And I think today it was on full display. I mean, Jimmy today was amazing, right? And in the second half, 10 of 12 for the 49ers in the second half, 11-something yards per attempt against the good Rams defense. I mean, this is still a top 10 defense in the NFL. So you have to give Jimmy Garoppolo, I think, the contextual credit that he deserves for succeeding behind an offensive line that, hasn't been great in pass protection for the 49ers over the years. I don't think the 49ers trade Jeff Wilson. I talked about it yesterday. It would have to be an insanely high price because he's so valuable to their team. You saw Jeff play fullback for the 49ers today. He was in there at the fullback position. Got that key handoff, third down pickup. He's tough. You need running back depth. You don't know if Christian McCaffrey is going to get banged up, especially if you use him a lot. You got to have running back depth. Now, the exciting thing is the next time the 49ers take the field on November 13th against the Chargers after the bye week, they're probably going to have Jeff Wilson Jr. back, Elijah Mitchell back to supplement Jeff Wilson Jr. and Christian McCaffrey. They might have Jason Verrett back. They hope to have Dre Greenlaw back. I mean, this team should get healthier over the bye. And, you know, the craziest part of everything might have been Kyle Shanahan stepping up in his post-game news conference, and he said, guys, I have no injuries to report. And he was like, that feels awkward. That feels weird. But he literally said he had no post-game injuries to report. He might have some to report tomorrow. You can't, can't assume that everybody will come out of it healthy. Sometimes the adrenaline has to wear off. But the 49ers seem to be in good position right now to head into the bye week and heal up. They didn't incur any more big-time damage, at least based on the initial casualty report from this game. All right, here we are, making progress toward In-N-Out Burger. There's the Rams logo. Taking a little break from talking. There's a Target off in the distance. I think I'm walking somewhere near there. Make the walk all the way to In-N-Out Burger. Now, at some point, I got to sign off here. But what's going to happen is I'm going to go to the hotel a little bit later after I eat at In-N-Out. And from the hotel, we'll talk some more. Deal? And we'll talk some more in a more organized setting. So anyway, 49ers beat the Rams today, 31-14. Second time in the course of less than a month that the 49ers have spanked the Rams. They're 4-4. 3 of their wins have come against the division. They're only game behind the Seahawks. And that's big for the 49ers in the context of the fact they get to play the Seahawks again in Week 15. Still very much in it. That's half of the season. The back half of the season is now coming for the 49ers. The back half, the back 9, right? The first 8 are done. The back 9 are coming. All right, everybody, like the video, sub to the channel. Hope you appreciate the behind-the-scenes content. We'll talk to you all soon. Take care.